Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a close look at this Revolt RC rotor powered car right after this. So the name brand on this car is actually Revolt, which you guys should be able to see right up here, but this is not really who makes this. When I was at my local Rural King, which is like a farm supply store here in the Midwest United States, I noticed this on the shelf. And I started looking at it, and I didn't notice at the time until I got home after I already bought it. This is actually made by Syma. The model number on this, after doing a little digging around the internet, is the TG1005. It says nothing on the box that I can see that says that. I've never heard of the Revolt brand, but of course we all know the Syma name brand. It appears that Syma has its own like offshoot or sub-brand, whatever you want to call it, called Revolt. I don't think it's very popular. I've not seen Revolt anywhere before, but they have some stuff listed on the Revolt website. I don't see this car for sale anywhere. Doesn't mean you can't buy it online. You probably can. I don't see it on Amazon. Just a quick search didn't bring anything up for it. But my local Rural King had these, and they probably were just left over from Christmas. On the bottom of this car, it even says, I can find where it says here, right back here, you won't be able to read it from back here, but it says distributed by Rural King Stores, which is based out of Illinois. And they may have a contract with Syma for this, but it doesn't, what I'm getting at is I don't know if this is an exclusive to Rural King product, but it is a rather lesser known or less common RC car as far as I can tell. I don't know a whole lot about it. There's a little demonstration video online about this from Syma under the Revolt brand, and that's where I got that TG1005 name. It doesn't have anything on here more than a SKU. In that little demo video, it's a QR code you can scan on this guy. But let's just quickly go over what it all says here. I've not had this out of the box, so I don't know all this, how this works just yet. I'll be learning that along with you guys, because I figured I would film it here on my basement floor because it's brutally cold here in the United States right now if you're east of the Rockies like I am, and it's just snow on the ground. There's no way I can get this outside and dry this anytime soon. So I thought I would do it down here, and then hopefully we can capture enough of how this car works here in my basement. But it's called the Aero Speed. And of course it says here the rotor powered RC race car, they call it, instead of RC car. You can see the controller over here is a little one you hold just in your one hand. And it mentions here this gyro assisted steering. I think that means using that controller to help steer. We'll have to figure out how that works, because I don't think this has any built-in gyro to assist the actual steering. Like, it'd be incredible at that price, because if you notice on here, and once I get closer with the camera you'll see it, I picked this up for $6. Its regular price was $16.98, so I got like what, $11 off. I mean, it was practically giving these things away. And they sell a lot of Syma stuff at Rural King, so at least when I go there I can have a chance of picking up what could potentially be a decent little RC car. Or they sell a lot of those Syma helicopters, where you go to Walmart, you're gonna be stuck with, Propel stuff's decent, but a lot of really junk. What I'm getting is Rural King actually sometimes sells some decent RC, and if you can get it at a discount like I did, it can be a pretty darn good deal. So let's see if there's anything else. The one thing I laughed at was the mind-blowing speed. Now it's 20 kilometers per hour is what they claim. I'm not having a way of testing that. If you put even a speed reader on something like this, it's probably going to slow it down a lot to where it wouldn't be accurate, because as you can see, it's dual prop or fan powered. We'll have to see though, does it actually steer with the wheels? I think it will, because a lot of these little cars that are more like hovercrafts, which this not necessarily is that, but they have the fans will alternate between right and left to turn, and then they will both go forward. We'll have to see if that's how this works, because you can see here they talked about drifts and donuts that it should be able to do. So that should be enough looking at the box. Let's go ahead and move the camera closer and dig inside and see what we get inside the box. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and open up and see what comes in the box. This little Revolt Aero Speed car. Now I've not even cut the tape on this, so I've not, like I said, had this open yet. So let's go ahead. It looks like the tape may have already been broken on it, but I've not had it open yet. One thing I didn't mention on this is while ago when I was holding the box up, is it does tell you that it uses a 1-cell 3.7 volt LiPo 450 milliamp hour there. So it is LiPo powered, it is rechargeable. You don't have to put any batteries in the car itself to power it, but the controller does take 2 AA batteries. Let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, there's some tape here on the, of course, on the on the sides here. They want to make it sure that no one's gonna get it open in the store and steal anything, I guess. Well, if I could get the tape there. There's probably gonna be some over here too. I can get that broken, and now I should be able to get it open. There we go. Well, this is probably instructions right here. Yeah, we'll take a look at that here. And there is that model number, the TG1005. Like I said, I got that off of Syma's Revolt branded video, but you can see all we've got is the Syma logo here. So I didn't see it anywhere in the box. Now, sometimes these boxes are congested with a lot of writing, so it's not to say I couldn't have missed it, but they don't have it where I could see obviously on the box. Let's go ahead and pull this out of here. As we can see, here is the controller. There's the charger, which we'll look at in a minute, and here is the car. It's going to be really lightweight, and like we'll have to say, like I said, we'll have to see, does this actually steer, or is it just going to use these fans to steer? That I'm not certain about. I didn't pay too close attention to that video to actually see if they what it was doing there. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is just using those fans. And if that's the case, is, you know, lots of times those don't steer super well because you're just using air. If I can get this to come off there. Here is the car. Yeah, these are fixed, so I was wrong. It's just going to use these fans to steer here. If I can keep it in the field of view. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's just going to use these to steer. So I thought maybe it actually had steering using the wheels, because if it actually did steer, you'd be able to actually turn much sharper, as the wheels would help guide the car. But now it's just using the fans, so it does alternate. Again, like I said, I'm learning this on the go here along with you guys, so I was guessing that maybe it steered, but no, it doesn't. But so the gyro assisted steering, of course, is obviously referring to this handheld little controller and not the car itself. So you just got 2 little brush motors here. Here is the little 2-pin connector for hooking up and charging the built-in LiPo battery. And then here is probably your on and off switch, I think. So it looks like. Yeah, pretty basic, really not much to it. Looks pretty cool, and this would be a lot of fun for a kid, especially, you know, someone younger. Box says ages 8 and up. And then we've got that charger right here, which is taped down, but if I can pull it off, yeah, I can. And there is that little 2-pin connector, and of course you need a USB power bank or wall adapter or something to plug it in to charge this little guy. 450 milliamp 1S LiPo on a 2.1 amp connection. You know, on a USB 2.1, you ought to be able to charge that thing up in a reasonable amount of time. Thinking, you know, half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how much you drain the battery down, of course. And then here is that controller. If I can pull the tape out, let's see if we can get it out of here. Looks like it is. Now, I'll have to figure out how to get this out, guys. There we go. It's got a little plastic piece on top to hold it in place. And here is that controller. I've seen this type of controller used on a few drones before, but I don't recall one for a car. Here is the on and off switch. Of course, I have no batteries in it, so it's not going to light up. And we got some little buttons here in this controller, single hand controller. Let's open the instruction manual and see if we can see, because I can't tell if these even push. This might just light up. We'll see what this all says that it does. And I'm thinking, obviously, it's got these buttons right up here. So we'll have to see, you know, what you all have to do with your hand and your thumb in terms of steering. So let's take a look at that, at the control, it's instructions for the controller. Here it explains a little bit. Press to speed up on the back here and release to slow down. It looks like that is going to be this button right here, I believe. But we'll have to just look closer, because it could, you've got this top button as well, and it looks to me like it's showing It's pointing down towards this one. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be, it says your movement, I believe. All right, guys, I got to interject here. I had to cut forward because I was getting so confused by the instructions, which are not very good, on exactly how this car works. I thought, you know what, I need to take this car out and actually test drive it. That's why I don't like to do these videos sometimes where I don't actually have a chance to test it beforehand, just so that I don't misspeak. And by testing it, I wanted to see, first of all, how do you control this thing, and does it actually have a gyro that I can tell? Well, first off, it doesn't. When I do this, it doesn't do anything. No matter what I do, there doesn't appear to be any gyroscope driving. So the only thing I could think of is that maybe there is a gyro in here that helps somewhat by alternating the fans. But I don't know how you tell that. I can't see any way, because I don't see anything with the controller. I thought a while ago that was the case, but it doesn't appear to be. And then the actual controls for it is you just give it forward throttle, reverse, right and left, and this button right here will boost it. And I'll show you guys, since I already got this powered up, I will just briefly show you here. We turn it on, set it down here, and let's bind it up and down. I'll just hold the car up so you guys can see. I give it throttle. Now if I press the button down, listen, you can hear that like turbo boost as it ups the power output to those brush motors. So this thing is actually, even without the boost, it's pretty darn quick. I was pleasantly surprised at how quick it was on my floor here. Not only that, but just how much fun it was to drive this thing. I'm really happy with it. It does have this one red LED light, so you know it's getting power. And of course, you know, whenever you know you're bound up and everything. So again, there's no steering on the wheels, which I initially thought there might have been, because they're very unclear about that gyroscope. But I thought for sure that there was a gyroscope driving, but I was a little thrown off by the, you know, the thumb, stick here. Let me turn off the car so I don't power it up anymore in my hand. And so I don't really know. The instruction manual says nothing about what that actually is in terms of the built-in gyro. But you know, at the end of the day, this thing costs $6. Does it really matter? No. This thing's fun. It's more for kids, but it's pretty darn quick, and it drives around. You know, it drifts around on a slick floor, and you can really see, hopefully whenever from the drive view here in a moment, we can actually get it out here and show you how it moves, because it's quick enough that a confined area like my basement is probably not going to be ideal. But again, due to the weather circumstances, it's a bit out of my control. So that should wrap up the table review portion for this little car. Let's go ahead now and switch the lights around and see how it actually does on my basement floor for the drive review. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so let's take the little Syma Revolt TG1005 little car out now and test it on my basement floor. There's a little noise in the background. The furnace is of course coming on and off, so I apologize. And of course my kids are stomping around and making a bunch of noise upstairs, which is a bit out of my control as well. So we got it powered on. It's all bound up with the controller. Let's drive it around here. It's gonna, again, this is not the biggest area, so I realize it's gonna bang into stuff. May not be the best test, especially for the top speed, but unfortunately right now there's no way I'm gonna be able to test that in a bigger area outdoors, given the weather, the snow and the extreme cold. So let's go ahead and sit on the ground and show you guys how it does. Scoot it out there, and we'll just give it some, let me get into view first. Looks like I got it too far up. Let's get it out there so you guys can see it. And let's just give it some throttle. I'm gonna try to back it up. So, I mean, it actually backs up better than I thought it would. There's a left turn. Back it up. Now I'm just using your regular speed. I'll show you guys the speed boost whenever I can, but I mean, it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to try to go straight out here to do that. Let's try the speed boost. Whoa. Again, it's not gonna be super easy here, guys, because of the limited space. So this is really going to be something that's going to be really ideal to be sort of like what they show in the Syma's Revolt demo video, where a kid is out on a tennis court, or actually it was a basketball court, and it was a wide open area in the summertime. That's really what this is going to be best for. But it does drift pretty good. So again, the turbo boost, you hold that down, let up. An instruction manual, from what I understood, unless I misread it here, let's take a quick look at that again, mentions to release to slow down. So I kind of got the impression they meant brake, but no, it's the turbo boost. So you press it, it'll speed up more. You let up, it will go more at normal speed. But remember that be aware that when you drive the turbo on, your battery's going to drain quicker, so you're going to get a shorter drive time. So I've driven this a little bit to test, so this may not be very long. It's going to work here for us. And of course, this is going to be the case more than any of your normal RC cars. Is if you're driving turbo or not, it's going to have a big effect on your total drive time. But yeah, I mean, this thing is, I think the 20 kilometers per hour with the turbo boost, I think it's probably, it may actually be pretty realistic. See, I banged into the post there. I can get it out. There we go. Oh! Try it again here. Oh, it's getting caught on the electrical cord, so let me go grab that, guys. Get it back out there. So again, I apologize. I know this is not going to be the very best test because it's just not a lot of room. Let's try the turbo boost again. So I got the button held down. Whoa! Wipe out! So yeah, it does the donuts and stuff pretty good once you get going. Let's try that here. Whoa! Pretty cool, pretty cool. Especially for a kid. I mean, my goodness, for a kid to get this, they're gonna have a blast, and it's not terribly difficult to drive. It's pretty easy to drive, and again, it's pretty quick. It's so lightweight, you're not gonna have to worry about if you do drive indoors, it's not gonna damage anything. You're not gonna scar up your kitchen table and chairs and legs and stuff. It's just super lightweight, made of plastic. And these little LiPo batteries provide so much punch that they can really reduce the weight. It's a little 450 milliamp LiPo battery. It's little bitty. It's so much lighter than, let's say, 2 AA batteries. And one thing I did say incorrectly, this actually takes 2 AAA batteries. I said it took 2 AA. This is obviously all ornamental. I see no lights on this. So you're basically just your gimbal stick for your controls, your power button, and this bottom button for your turbo. I can't see that this button here on top does anything, and instructions implies it doesn't. So this probably repurposed this from something else, maybe even a drone, and redesigned it slightly to use with this RC car. Pretty neat. Like I said, it's more fun than I thought. To me, it's definitely a $6 well spent. I could definitely gift this to a kid, or I may even give it to my 4-year-old, because I know she will love this and it won't hurt anything in the house. So that's probably what I'll do. All right, guys, I think this video is long enough. I apologize it wasn't more drive review and a lot of me talking. I'm guilty of that at times, so I apologize again. But this is a pretty cool little car. If you live anywhere in the Midwestern US and you have a chance to pick this car up, check your local Rule King, because for $6 what I paid, there's a good chance they're going to have some of these, and they're going to also be on clearance. $6, you can't go wrong. Even at full retail $18, that's not bad. Not bad at all for what this little car does. But if you can get it for under 10 like I did, that's a steal. Like I said, they're practically giving these away. So that wraps up this video review of the Syma Revolt TG1005, the little rotor or propeller powered RC car. If you guys enjoy this video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. That helps the channel out a ton, more than you think. If you have any questions or you just want to say what you think of the video, please do comment down below. Be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're not new and you're a regular subscriber, you know, make sure you get the bell clicked so you know you get notified when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.